up, party people? It's Chris with ProPhoto, and this is Geared Up. This is our weekly live broadcast where we talk about lighting techniques, gear, photography, just whatever you want to discuss. We come with a subject, but if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to drop them in the chats because we are monitoring. If you're watching this on ProPhoto.com, you're going to see some pictures of things pop up around the screen depending on if you're watching on a phone or a computer. If you want more information about any of the stuff that we're talking about, you can click on that and go and check that out, and we'll drop down in the corner, picture-in-picture style. We'll still be here. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, you're not going to get that experience. If you want it, click the link in the description. If you don't care, hang with us. We're still going to have a good time. What are we talking about today? Today, it's all about split light. So we've kind of been weaving in the lighting patterns as the weeks have been going on. I know that we've talked about butterfly light at some point. We've talked clamshell lighting. We've done short and broad lighting, which is kind of cool. Today, we're going to get into split lighting. And in its most basic form, all split lighting is you're taking the person, generally their face, and you're splitting it. So half of the face is lit, half of the face is not lit, or is something else like what we're going to show you today, depending on how you want. But split lighting is really, really dramatic. You see it a lot in movie posters. You see it a lot in dramatic things, and that's just because in the world of photography or pictures or anything like that, the more shadow added into the subject, generally the more drama, the increase you're going to see in the dramaticness of the picture. Apparently I can't speak. I think I'm still in Stockholm time. So it's a really good way of conveying that. Another good thing that split light's good for is for people like me who are a little bit rounder. If I want to be slimmed up a little bit, by taking the shadow and adding more of it to me, you can actually slim me up, which is kind of nice. So and anytime that you can slim me up, I'm a happy camper. So lighting setup wise, let's talk about how you get to split light first and how you would do it lighting technique wise, because we're going to do it a touch differently here because I had a concept in my brain and this just works better for what I wanted to do. But generally when you're doing split light, you're taking your light source and you're bringing it over here to the side, and you kind of have to, it's almost a side light. You have to be careful about your placement with it, because once you start to move the light a little bit over here, you're going to start getting some spill over to this side, which is going to start making Rembrandt light. That's not the same thing. But like you want to feature, the nose, the brow ridge, and all that stuff like that. You want the light to hit those, and for this part of your face to stop the light from going over to the other side. So it's all about light placement. So you can use big modifiers, small modifiers, whatever you want to do. You generally want to kick them out to the side to get split light. Where there can be some danger in that, and we talked about this last week when we were talking about how to create definition on a person. Definition is created by shadows, light and shadows actually. So where there is a ridge, light won't be able to get in there depending on how far you kick it to the side. So if someone has issues with their skin, you're going to want to first try to use a softer modifier to split light them, because it's going to help fill in some of those bumps or ridges that they may have on their skin. But it will highlight them. So for what I wanted to do today, I'm actually going to use a flag to split light Kate, because and I'll explain the concept here in a second, but I didn't want so much shadowing on the light side. So I actually had the light kicked around quite far. If this flag wasn't here, it would probably be closer to like a really it'd be closer to a Rembrandt light, but with more like a larger triangle on the cheek. So we have this flag here to create the split for us, and I'll explain the light placement in just a moment. But my idea behind this shoot is I wanted to play with that shadow that you get from split light. So are we on the, we're on the front wide. No, let's do the front wide first so they can kind of see it. So the idea behind this is I want to not only split Kate with the light, but I also want to split the background, right? So this side where the shadow side goes to, we're going to use this V flat that we have to keep this background dark, while we have the white seamless on this side going light. So it's kind of like maybe a good and evil or light and dark idea. And so to do that, the cool thing about shadows is you can take colored gels and you can start to bring some color into the shot. So on this side for the fill light, we have a RFI 3x4 softbox. So nice, kind of we were talking about with the split light. There's a scarlet gel inside of there. So the RFI softbox, just so you kind of know how this is installed on the B1, the RFI softbox is on the B1, and then I reached inside the B1 and I put an OCF2 with a scarlet gel in it. So that's going to light red on this side. So it should stay, this side of the face should be nice and red. And then the white light from this side will overpower any of this spill that we would have gotten from this large softbox. And it'll take, did I say getting? Holy smokes, my Southern's coming out. I am born and raised down here. But this is gonna help keep some of that light from, me talking about my getting. No, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. But this light right here hitting Kate is gonna keep whatever spill was coming from this softbox from showing up in the shot. So the red will just be in the shadows, which is super cool. And then we'll have this cool light here. And then I have another B10, oh, sorry, I didn't tell you what that light was. That's a B10, and I have the OCF barn door on it, and that's just to kind of help me.
Oh, that's blurry. My bad.
Oh yeah.
Go back over here.
You can I think it's pretty far back, and I'll explain why it's far back too here in just a moment. But it's got a barn door in it just to kind of help push the light over a little bit more. But I have it really far back because I need the line to be really sharp. So if you can make the light source a little bit smaller by pushing it back and then keeping the flag or whatever you're using to cut with closer to the subject, the line on Kate's gonna be much sharper. So that's the reason we have that up. And then again, this B10 right here is just to make the background go white. Because right now, the way that the light's set up, it probably wouldn't. So this is just gonna aid in that. So should be very fun. I'm gonna shut my mouth and we're gonna take some photos. Does that sound cool, Kate?
Sounds good to me.
Let's do it.
Get this. The wide shot is not focused. Hold on.
It's super mad?
Super mad. Come on.
It might be, hold on a second. Hold on, watch out. So it might just need a little screen touch right there.
Aha, there we are.
We're back? All right, cool. Sweet.
Let's go ahead.
So this is, it's always fun whenever you have this idea in your head and it comes together, but it's just kind of, this is why doing this and hanging out and asking questions and talking about live stuff is really cool, because you start getting these ideas in your head, these concepts, and it's pretty easy to execute because you understand how these lighting rules work. So I just got my big noggin in there.
It does.
Cool. That's probably fine.
You want to just leave it with that? Well,
oh, wait a minute. What if we...
Just the computer. I need this.
What if it was this one?
Computer.
That one.
That is better. Oh, that's great.
Cool. So I'm going to have Kate lined up. I'm going to go back vertical, I think. Okay. And then keep the shot relatively tight. Yeah, just keep your hands kind of turned out. There we go. So let's just make sure that you are, my camera's set up right. People always ask camera stuff, so let's talk about camera stuff. F8, 250 to the second, ISO 160 is kind of my favorite thing to do in here with all these video lights because it helps keep them out of the shot. Camera power settings, I think I'm relatively low here. Oh, actually, no, I'm at 9.4, 7.5 on the background, and on the B1X, I am 6.7, since everybody always likes to kind of know what power levels these things are at. So 9.4 on the main, 7.5 on the background, 6 point something on, yeah, 6.7 on the fill light. So here we go. Right here, Kate, 3. So yeah, 3, 2, 1. So cool. So you can kind of see what we were, oh, hold on a second. We'll have to take another one. Oh, there it goes. It took it a second to load. So the cool thing is, oh yeah, they couldn't.
Yeah, we can talk about it while I'm doing this.
Cool. So the cool thing is, and Caitlin's gonna bring up the shot here on the screen, but the cool thing is we're able to maintain the split. Honestly, I could probably play with the placement a little bit more because some of the light's kind of creeping over here, which we don't genuinely want or generally want. So, and the other tough thing, at least for this, by going forward, is that the way that the flag, and it's just something I've got to play with a little bit more. I've been messing around with it all morning, and it's not exactly where I want it. But because of the shape of Kate's body, it starts to kind of, move all over the place. So you can see the flag starts to cut down here, but it starts to open up a little bit more there. I wanted, again, to keep that light coming forward. I think I'm hidden behind a flag right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wanted to keep the light coming more forward towards Kate as opposed to side lighting. And what we could do is I might kill the these two, the white light side, so you can see how the split light works with just the red. But yeah, that's kind of the whole idea behind why I have the light placed there as opposed to the side, like we were saying, which is what people traditionally do with split lighting, is just move the light to the side, just like the 3x4 is over here. So I'll take one more shot because I want to kind of make sure that she's lined up and I have the light right, and then I'm going to turn those off so you can see what just a straight side light split light looks like. And it'll be red, but whatever, it's okay. I mean, I guess I'll just reach in there and take the gel out.
Nah. Leave it red.
Leave it red? All right, cool. So let's get this line back up. There we go, dead center. So give me a small shift to your left, just tiny, right there. Oh, too far, back there. So we go 3, 2, actually, let's kick on this. I need to, a good thing too about continuous light, where all of this is falling. There we go. I can move my flag to center up. 3, 2, 1. There we go. And again, it's because of the way that I'm setting this, it's a fine line walking and positioning of the flag. But let's kill these side lights, and then let's kill this side, and then I'll show you kind of that traditional split light. I might actually have to power up over here a little bit because it's kind of set as a fill right now. So let's go to, we're at 6.7. Let's take this to 7.5. And let's just see where we're at. So you ready, Kate?
I'm ready.
So 3, 2, 1. That's more of a traditional split light. So what we can actually do, because we have a little bit of light kind of starting to creep over here and almost to Rembrandt territory, is we might want to push this light back a little bit and a little further past Kate. So less of this light right here should get over there is what the aim should be. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. There we go. That's more of a traditional split light. And you can walk it back and forth to play with it. So that shot right there compared to the first one. So if I,
a little more contrasty.
Yeah.
On the screen.
So yeah, it's definitely more contrasty on the screen than what it actually looks like with the computer. But the fine line that you're going to want to start walking is by pushing it back too far. You're going to start to lose some more of the light here on this side of her face, which it's nice to have a little bit of light in the eye. So you could always pull it back a little bit. Maybe go like right here. And then you could also use grids. Grids help out a lot too. Here we go, Kate. 3, 2, 1. So, and then again, using her facial features, you're able to start bringing some of that light back in. I could probably have her push her hair back a touch to get in there, but that's neither here nor there. So, good?
Good.
So cool. So again, split lights are really, and I'm going to pull the shots up really fast too so we can look at them side by side. But split lights are a really cool way of just adding some drama. And then again, you have a whole shadow side that you can play with when it comes to your light, which is really fun. So I'm going to pull up this. Let's go to full screen. And I'm going to pull up. Do we have any questions about anything yet?
Let's see. Can split light be used in any genre of photography?
Sure. I mean, you can use split light so someone asked, can split light be used in any genre of photography? Yeah, I mean, you can use it in fashion, you can use it in beauty, you can use it in editorial stuff. It's just, at the end of the day, you're trying to convey a message with split light, which usually is something a little darker, something a little more moody. So you would want to make sure that you're paying attention to the light technique that you're using for the message you're trying to convey. But 100%, I don't think there's necessarily rules to what is the right way and the wrong way of doing it.
And you brought up Rembrandt Light, and someone was asking, what is Rembrandt Light for reference?
So just as a quick reference, this is this middle shot right here is, so someone was asking what...
Let me put on cam 3, here we go.
So someone was asking what is Rembrandt Light, and we're probably, honestly, our live next week is Rembrandt Light, so we're gonna dive deeper into that. But Rembrandt Light's just when this light starts to creep over here to this side and you start to get this triangle on the cheek. Cool, and then we'll get deeper into, you know, all of the ins and outs of that stuff there. And honestly, this here with this split light, I could have tightened that shadow up a little bit more just to keep this off the side of the face. My split light technique that I'm doing, again, like I explained, I'm trying to achieve something a little different. I don't want necessarily the lines on the face to be so, or at least on the light side, to be so exaggerated. Whereas like if you look here with this split light, you can see there's more of a smile line right here that I didn't want on this side. It's kind of the whole, if you think about like the traditional like evil idea, there's definitely going to be more drama, more dark, more shadow, which plays better to this setup. Whereas if you kind of think of like the good side, it's going to be way less dramatic. And so that's why I chose to do a flag split light as opposed to a traditional light to the side split light. So, and then again, once you are doing the split light, you want to pay attention to light placement. Here is the light a little bit further forward, and you can see it start to creep over. It's not that big of a deal, but then if you push it back too far, you can start to lose some more light on your subject. Honestly, this probably wouldn't have been so bad, but Kate has this one hair right here. This kind of, you can see it making the shadow right there. This kind of keeping the light out of the eyes. So it's one of those things you're gonna have to play with because there's a lot of shadow involved. And then you could bring in another fill light. So if you don't want it to go totally black, kind of like we have here, but with a red gel in it, you could bring in a fill light and bring some of that contrast back up if you don't want it to be like pitch black, if you want to keep some of your information there. So anything else? Are we good?
I think that's good.
Cool. So I think this is a fun little live to do, you know, after traveling, 5,000 miles. So, but it was super fun. So again, split light, really, really easy technique for creating drama. Moody portraits, easiest thing to do if you don't want to worry about flags and stuff like that and proper light placement, or proper flag placement in relationship to your main light. Just take your light, move it to the side. That way you're using the midline facial features to help create shadows, to create a ridge that the light can't get past, so that this side of the face goes dark. And it doesn't have to be a head-on shot. You could have someone, quarter turned and just push the light even further over to where this goes dark, or you could have it lit this way and have the shadow on this side. You can do it short or broad light. There's no defined rules to how you do it. Really, it just comes down to having the light split right down the middle of the face. So hopefully that was cool information. This was super fun for me. If you have any questions about anything, or if you want to jump into like a one-on-one breakout session with like myself or Anders or our boy Gibbe, there's a link in the description also. So you're more than welcome to chat with one of us if you have any further questions. In the meantime, this has been awesome. I hope you had a good time like I did, and we'll see you next week on Geared Up. Peace out.